10,000 years before the rise of the Republic, before Yoda ever took his first steps onto the path of the Jedi, the galaxy was shaped by a figure so powerful and enigmatic that time itself struggles to remember his name. Kael Dorin, the Prime Jedi, was more than just a master of the Force. He was its first true architect, a pioneer who turned chaos into order and darkness into hope. While legends remember Yoda as the wisest of all Jedi, the true foundation of everything the Jedi would become was laid by Kael Dorin, the one who not only mastered the Force, but transcended it, forever changing the destiny of the galaxy. Kael Dorin's story begins on a world untouched by civilization, a place where the Force flowed free and wild. As a child, Kael was different, tall and ethereal, his eyes shimmering with an inner light that set him apart from the moment he was born. Animals were drawn to him, sensing the calm at his core. Plants would grow at his touch, and storms would subside at his mere presence. He was a living conduit of the Force, able to feel its currents in every living thing around him. But Kael was alone in his gift. There were no Jedi to teach him, no temple to guide his steps. Everything he learned through direct communion with the cosmic Force. He spent years in solitude, meditating beneath ancient trees and starlit skies, listening to the whispers of the universe. It was through this deep connection that he discovered the duality of the Force: light and dark, creation and destruction, life and death, all existing in perfect balance. Unlike any who would come after, Kael Dorin's power was almost unfathomable. Where future Jedi might move an object or sense a distant presence, Kael could alter the very fabric of reality. He could see across multiple timelines, understanding the infinite possibilities of every moment. He was the first to craft a lightsaber, not with technology, but by shaping pure Force energy and crystals found in nature. This weapon was not just a tool, but a symbol of balance, a blade that brought order to the chaos of the universe. Yet for all his abilities, Kael's greatest breakthrough came from his willingness to confront the greatest mystery of all: death. Where others feared the end, Kael saw only another aspect of the Force to be explored. Through decades of meditation, introspection, and spiritual practice, he began to perceive the boundary between life and death, not as an end, but as a veil that could be lifted. In a moment of profound revelation, Kael entered a state of meditation so deep that his body began to glow, his form becoming translucent, ethereal. He learned to separate his consciousness from his physical form, existing in both the material and spiritual realms at once. Through this discovery, Kael became the first to achieve true immortality, not by clinging to life, but by embracing the full cycle of existence and merging his identity with the cosmic Force. Kael's mastery over death was not just a personal triumph. He realized he could pass this knowledge on to others, ensuring that the wisdom and guidance of the Jedi would never fade, even after physical death. This became the foundation of the technique that would later allow Jedi like Qui-Gon Jinn, Yoda, and Obi-Wan Kenobi to return as Force spirits, guiding future generations through the darkest times. But Kael's legend would be truly forged in a time of unparalleled crisis. The galaxy was threatened by a force of darkness unlike any before. An army of 500 Sith warriors, each consumed by rage, and led by the fearsome Dark Lord Malachar. Their goal was nothing less than the obliteration of all light, the subjugation of every living thing beneath the shadow of the dark side. When Kael Dorin stood against them, he stood alone, a solitary figure on a desolate battlefield, his lightsaber blazing with pure energy. The sky churned with storm clouds as hundreds of Sith charged him, their red blades a sea of hatred and fury. Yet Kael moved with a grace and power that transcended mortal limits. He was everywhere at once, his blade weaving a tapestry of light that cut through the Sith ranks. With a wave of his hand, he could hurl dozens of foes aside. With a thought, he could raise barriers of energy that shielded entire regions from harm. The battle raged for 3 days and nights. When at last Malachar himself emerged, their duel became the stuff of legend. The clash of their blades sent shockwaves across the planet, light and darkness colliding in a storm of unimaginable intensity. But where Malachar fought with raw rage, Kael wielded perfect balance. In the end, it was not just Kael's power that won the day, but his understanding. He showed the Sith that the light was not weakness, but strength, an overwhelming force that could not be broken. Defeated and awed, many of the surviving Sith abandoned the path of darkness, choosing instead to walk the way of the Jedi. In this moment, the Jedi Order was born, not from dogma, but from redemption and transformation, a testament to Kael's vision of balance. After his physical death, Kael Dorin did not vanish into legend. As a Force spirit, he became an eternal teacher, appearing to those most worthy across the millennia. It was he who taught Qui-Gon Jinn the secret of immortality, a secret passed from Qui-Gon to Yoda, from Yoda to Obi-Wan, and on through every generation of Jedi Masters. Each time a Jedi becomes one with the Force, they follow the path first walked by Kael Dorin. Though history may have forgotten his name, Kael Dorin's influence remains eternal. His greatest victory was not in defeating armies or building temples, but in ensuring that the Jedi Order would never truly die. Through him, the light side endures, and the galaxy will always have a guardian, watching from beyond the veil, waiting to guide the next generation into the dawn. Kael Dorin, the Prime Jedi, the legend who changed everything,